Everyone, welcome back to SAT Math Question of the Day. Here's our question of the day. Please try it, pause the video, come back, and we'll do it. Which of the following is equivalent to the given expression? Well, you would combine the like terms and get the answer. They're trying to play with you with some of the notation, but you just go slow. 2 minus 2 is 0, and negative x squared minus x squared is negative 2x squared. That's like negative x squared plus negative x squared. You're combining two negatives, so they add to each other. So you have negative 2x squared. So that would be the answer. So in terms of categories of questions, it's a combining like terms question. And then we'll talk about later what they're trying to see if you know, but it's pretty clear that they're wanting to see if you know how to combine like terms. Jeff, do you have any comments?
Well, it's to catch people who get dizzy from all the minus signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone might see all the minus signs and associate it, using psychological association.
Yeah.
Which is not logic.
Right.
Which is gives you faulty logic, but associate things, subtracting things from each other. Oh, 0.
Yeah.
Subtraction.
What did you say it was? Faulty logic?
Faulty logic is, people make conclusions.
Yeah.
By what's called in psychology association. Things that appear related to each other, or you've learned about together, or you see next to each other, become associated.
Yeah.
And exactly what that means varies with what the nature of the things are.
We all do that, though. That's called that in very often that leads to what's called either a stupid mistake.
The stupid mistake.
A stupid mistake.
It also leads to to survival.
Right. Yeah.
If you see a bear on the street, you associate that with getting eaten.
Right. You mean as opposed to looking slowly, more carefully, and seeing that behind the bear there's a leash that the bear is tied to a pump, so it's actually no danger to you.
No, unless the leash is too thin.
Right.
Yeah. So mathematics is about making conclusions based on logic applied to facts, as opposed is unlike normal getting around and making sense of the world by similar experience, by learning from related experiences and habits.
Yeah. That's a
so thing is if you write down on top of that.
Yeah.
You see what happens is, I think the pattern that you see is there's a 2 on the left.
Yeah.
Right, and a 2 on the right.
Yeah.
And it's a minus sign between them. So people have learned that whenever you see something on the left and a minus of the thing on the right, it's 0.
Yeah.
But what's confused, but then you have to actually pay attention to what is between.
Yeah.
The 2 and the minus 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right. So that's why I said when I was doing the problem that they're playing with you with your eyes and you got to be careful. But
Yes.
you really articulated why from a psychological point of view. And
Yes.
that
Yes.
is really insightful to be aware of when you do math, and that's right, because we're trained because we're our survival instinct is to think more intuitively and to see things and react, yeah, just to see things. You can't use that in math. You gotta follow the logical rules, and you
But
gotta
then,
look for them.
when you face math, for which you first of all you need to no, but you do need to see see the math in order to remember the rules that apply.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But then the problem is what happens if you see some math and you don't remember a rule that applies.
Well, in the SAT, you skip that question.
Yeah, so the SAT is then you have to guess that you don't know the rule.
Yeah, yeah. You have to try
Ah,
to either remember it or
it's a cycle. It's a psychological. So SAT is a game between you and the establishment.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the SAT institution, is your opponent in a game that you're playing.
Right, right. Yeah, and there are there are multiple reasons why you can get a question wrong, but the two significant ones are: one, you really don't know what to do, which means you don't know the rule that governs the relationship of the things in the problem, and two, you make a stupid mistake, which means that you do your eyes you just do something with intuition without following the exact rules. The
Yeah.
exponent rules are that happens a lot in the exponent rules when you have maybe a -4 squared, something like that, or
Hmm.
even worse, -4 squared. This one throws a lot of people. -4 squared, where you say that's positive 16, but that's what it looks like it is, right? The what's really going on here is this is a -1 times a 4 squared. So the answer is -16. So the classic example. You know what else happens in a problem like this where people sometimes mess up is with radicals. You would have a 3 radical 5 minus a radical 5. And when people first do this, they'll just say it's 3 because you're just taking off the radical 5s. You can almost
What?
see that making sense, right?
What? No. Okay.
No. But you understand that if you see a radical 5, you're subtracting radical 5. That means you're lopping off the radical 5.
It's ambiguous whether the first radical is the cube root of 5
No, it's 3
or
times.
it's three times the
No. It's 3
square root of
times.
5.
It's 3. Sorry, fine. You're being silly. It's 3
Well, when you wrote
times.
it made me. No, when you wrote it, I read it as the cube root of 5.
Okay,
The cube
fine.
is a
Okay,
little
forget
bit.
it. Forget
The
it. Forget it.
3
It
is a
doesn't
little
matter.
bit up.
Okay, forget it. Forget it. Okay, here, forget that. Delete. Now, there. Okay, it's clear that it's 3 times the square root of 5 minus the square root of 5.
So that's 2 times the square root of 5.
Of course it is, but when you first see it, it's very common to say, well, that's just 3 because you are deleting, you're just subtracting off the radical 5s. You see, there's some
Well,
semblance
if
of-
instead what you could do is put a little dot on top of the minus sign, and then another little dot below the minus sign, and what you'd have is 3 times the square root of 5 divided by the square root of 5, which is 3.
Okay. But
Yeah,
thing,
minusing is combining with the additive inverse.
that's not what we're
Dividing is combining with the multiplicative inverse.
I know, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about that.
Well, no, that minus sign is analogous to a division sign.
we're going too deep.
Doesn't no, write down a minus sign.
Minus sign, yeah.
Yeah. And below it, write a division sign.
Okay. Fine.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, they are in the subject of algebra.
Yep.
When mathematicians look at algebra abstractly, minus and division are analogous operations.
Okay. But this has what relevance is any of this stuff?
And the relevance is that if you take 2 times the square root of 5 on the left and the square root of 5 on the right,
yeah,
and you divide them,
yeah,
you'll get 3.
Okay, but we're not doing that. We're subtracting them.
So you have to.
We're not dividing. We're not dividing.
But if it were dividing, then your wrong equation would become right if you change the minus to a divide.
Yeah, but we're not doing that. We're not.
Well, I'm doing it.
Okay, fine. You can do it. But now the thing is, see, your brain may process this as just knocking off the radical 5s. It makes sense. May make sense, but logically, according to the math rules, according to the logical math rules, that is not what this is saying. This is saying 3 things minus 1 thing equals 2 things. All I'm saying is that this is a classic example of you seeing something that's not really that isn't, as you can say here's what it is. Seeing something that that's wrong mathematically, but thinking that it looks correct.
Yeah.
So this is what you really got to be careful about when you're doing all math. So, okay, now this actually came from a calculator part of a test from the October 2023 old style SAT before digital. Calculator, I mean, not really. Calculator may help you doing 2 by 2, but that's sort of ridiculous. How would you do this question different from school? Well, it wouldn't be a multiple choice question. Wouldn't be much different. A main idea. So the main idea of this question is real understanding how to combine like terms in algebra. How to combine like terms in an algebraic expression. And knowing that don't be scared to add variable expressions. Don't be scared to add an x, whatever coefficient there is here in front of the x squared, to whatever coefficient there is to the x squared there. And don't be scared to combine like terms, including both constants and variable expression. So, and then of course, the big skill here that's on a lot of questions is following what it says as opposed to what your first impression brain thinks to do. So, anything else?
I think we're done with this one.
Oh, we are seriously done with this one. Seriously done. Okay, everyone, I'm Joel. I have a PhD in mechanical engineering from Columbia University. My brother Seth's PhD in math from MIT. He's been a professor of computer science many years at SUNY Albany. He's now retired. We are here to hopefully give you different approaches and insights into SAT math questions, which will hopefully help you navigate the questions that you will have in your SAT. Best thing to do is go to the SAT website and take their 4 test digital SAT practice tests that are in the application called Blue Book. You'll have to download Blue Book and do those tests, practice on them. Whatever questions you get wrong, you may notice there are certain topics that you're weak on. Go to Khan Academy website. They have partnered with the SAT people, and they give 20-30 questions on each topic, on each even subtopic. Practice on all of those, and just keep practice, and learn from your mistakes. And try to think about what's going on in each problem. I guess that's it, right? Please, we welcome comments on our videos. We take them all very seriously. And if you have any SAT math questions, please email them to us at satmathquestionoftheday@gmail.com, and we will do them as they come.
Yeah. And you could read and copy that email address from the title page of this YouTube channel.
Yes, absolutely. Very good. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good day.